Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Steven Inks. My name is Steven and I'm going to be doing two of my favorite things today. I'm going to be talking about my fountain pens and I'm going to be creating some art for you. Today's video is called Postmodern because we're going to be posting to a subscriber to my channel one of the postcards that I'm going to be making on this postcard paper. See how it's blank? Because I haven't made it yet. You're going to get to watch that process, and if you would like to receive a postcard this week, in the coming weeks, as I mail them out, please subscribe to my channel. We would love to have you be a part of this growing community. All right, I'm going to look at my supplies, we're going to do some drawing, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Let's go. Today's video, the art will be done with a Lamy Safari in fine, with a fine nib, and the Atramentis Document brown ink. Thank you, Goulet Pen Company, for letting me buy the sample from you. And these Etchr Lab Premium Watercolor postcards. All right, and additional sketching will be done on Tomoe River paper. Okay, so here's the thinking that I was going through with preparing this video. I've been reading this book, Framed Ink, by Marcos Mateu-Mestre. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's from Spain, I believe. And this is a book about composition. And I was thinking about something that he does in this book a lot, which he never calls it this, but I'm going to call it like a composition study. Where he breaks apart these pictures and puts them into the basic shapes and the thrust and the directions that they go in. So I picked 4 pictures. I'm going to show you them right here on my iPad that I think are kind of cool for one reason or another. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the composition of these pictures and then twist them, play with the scale, move some things around composition wise, so I have something that's using the composition of these 4 images but is something else, and the theme is a message from somewhere else in the universe. So that's kind of this idea I'm workshopping around. So sort of on a science fiction theme, maybe outer space, alien planets, that sort of thing. But from these everyday pictures, we've got a dog in a blanket, we've got these strawberry tarts, and this mountain range, and then even this jellyfish with that little circular kind of shape. So I'm going to break down these compositions into their basic elements, and I'm going to use those compositions to make the subject of my postcards. Now there's 4 of them here, which means since I don't really know how this is going to go, I'm going to do all 4, and then I'm going to pick 2 or 3 out of the 4 to end up actually making the composition. All right, so sounds fun. I don't know how this is going to go at all, but let's give it a try. The first part of this video, you can see what I'm doing is I'm trying to pull apart what is that composition, what are the major shapes. Some of these I'm looking at proportions, taking notes for myself, what compositional rules, like the rule of thirds, where do these compositions lie, trying to think about what I like about them. And then after that, when that's done, I'm going to get into actually creating some ideas. I've got to say I actually was a little bit nervous and maybe even a little bit regretful about putting this entire process to video because oftentimes I sit down and I try and draw something, create something, and I never know what's going to come out. Like my first couple of ideas are really shaky and weird, and I get this idea, maybe a fear even, that if people see how many bad things I create to come up with something that I think turned out really good in the end, and see that whole process, they would find my art that much less impressive. I don't know if that's something that anyone out there can relate to, but I fear my mistakes, but I cannot create without making lots and lots of mistakes. This YouTube channel is pretty new to me. Putting my entire process out there is also quite new. I've only had this channel for about a year. It's grown a lot in that time, and I really appreciate, again, that community of people that has been around for most of that time, and even people who recently started as subscribers, or just people who comment and say nice things. It's very strange for me to make public that thing which has always been so private. You know, if you talk about escape, and that's what the theme, I guess, of this video and these postcards was, art has always been my escape. It's been something that I have for myself. It's my ticket to anywhere in the universe, whatever I can create, whatever I can dream and imagine. And it's really nice to create without that fear of judgment. Not, of course, that I think that you guys who are watching this video are going to say judgmental things. You can. You're within your rights to do that. I am putting that out there publicly. Yeah, it's an interesting transition that I'm going through right now, trying to make my work public, my art public, and putting even this rough stuff, like these sketches where I don't really know what's going on, I haven't decided what it is yet, and then making that something that you all can see that process. Hopefully that's actually something that encourages you and makes you feel like, hey, if this guy can make all these silly, weird things and pull something useful out of it, so can I. So this is actually the part that I usually show you guys on my videos, where I already know what I'm doing. I have some sense of design set up, and I have my ideas together. And yeah, this is the part where I get more comfortable just kind of noodling around, but kind of knowing what it is that I'm doing, and having had a chance to just kind of play around with some ideas and see what works. I wouldn't say that this is my strength to do this kind of science fiction stuff, but it's the kind of stuff that I love. I love to look at science fiction art. I love to, that's the genre of books and movies and TV shows that I tend to gravitate to, and I think it's the imagination. That's kind of what I like about it. The whole mysterious creatures and alien cultures and all that stuff. But the interesting thing, and I think the point of this particular video, is that that stuff can come from mundane, ordinary, everyday things. You know, like the compositions were borrowed from pictures that I just found, like off of a royalty-free image website. But then even like mysterious creatures, you can see one of them looks like he's roughly based on a potato, and then this sort of plant creature and this kind of snake thing drinking tea, and you could see some of the influences of TV shows and movies that I like, you know, Marvel comic books, Star Wars, Star Trek, that sort of stuff that I grew up on. So it's interesting. Your creativity, your imagination is really sort of a compilation of all the stuff you like. So in that way, it's really easy to find kind of uniqueness and find your own style by just continuing to make things that you like. And that was what was fun about this particular video for me, is I just made a bunch of stuff that I liked and tried to turn it into something. Yeah. And the idea, the theme of escape is definitely something that has been on my mind lately. We're towards the end of COVID, but it's still pretty shut down around places, especially when it comes to travel. Man, I really love travel. I was planning to travel actually to South Korea, where my wife is from, to visit our family that's there, even as early back as summer 2020. Of course, we had to cancel because of COVID, and it's still not quite at the place where it would be fun to visit because of all the quarantining you would have to do and travel not being as free as it normally is. So once again, that's put off, and once again I'm left again with my only ticket being my imagination to go off and go somewhere and have an adventure. It's been a while since I've had a really good adventure. So that's something I'm looking forward to in perhaps the far distant future. Hopefully not too far, because I truly need to get out there and have an adventure. Hope you all are doing well. This portion of the video is just the rest of it's just gonna be enjoy my drawings, and then do stick around to the last minute or so. I'm gonna explain how you can be eligible to win one of these postcards. I'm gonna be mailing them out to 3 of my subscribers this week. So I hope you stick around for that. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so I had a lot of fun doing that, and we are going to be doing probably the most fun for those of you who've been watching is I'm going to be sending these postcards out to you if you're a subscriber to my channel. If not, all you got to do is click subscribe to be eligible to enter this contest. And I've got a question for you in the comments. I'd like you to answer it. I will choose at random one of the comments or one of the comments to win each postcard. So that's 3 comments total. And the question is this: if you could vacation anywhere in the world or the universe, where would you go? All right, that's my question for you. I hope you guys are all doing great. I hope you're being safe and happy and surrounded by loved ones. Have a great day.